All right. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good on this Saturday afternoon. We do have some more updates about Diddy. As you guys may know, yesterday we were introduced to a video that everybody had to lay their eyes on, and it was Diddy. You see the pictures right here of the stills of the video. And let me tell you, they said it's just not one video, but it's multiple videos that have yet to be released. The second video that we talked about yesterday that you guys may not know of, girl, when I tell you it's so serious, they say Cassie was talking to some guy and Diddy walked up, grabbed Cassie by her head, and put his knee all up in her forehead. Hit her with the knee, girl, and knocked it out. Okay. So this video that was yesterday, you see the clips from that. They said before this happened, the night before it happened, Diddy had a tussle with Cassie and put paws on her, blacked her eyes, okay? And he put her up in a hotel room, and this was in a hotel room so she can recover, because he did not want people to see her with those black eyes, because they would have known that he is a monster. They would have known that he put hands on women, and any man that put hands on women are a monster. Could we agree? Any man that put hands on women, they are dealing with mental illness. Can we agree? Something is not right with these men that put hands on these girls, okay? Especially when it's unprovoked, unwanted, okay? And Cassie, honey, when I tell you, she is such an innocent bird. She does not fight back. She is small. She's petite. You know what I'm saying? She won't hurt a fly. She is just sweet as she can be. She's not one of those girls that's masculine. No, one of those girls that hardcore and can hit a man and put paws on a man. She not one of them. Okay. She's a sweet flower. Okay, that has been stomped on by this monster named Diddy. Now, if you guys can hear me clear, can you please like this video? Can you please press this too, so we can make sure we're on the same page? All right, so we need to talk about this. And what happened in this video, like I was saying before, and if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. You are at the Messy Sweet Spot. I am your host, Miss Gigi with the T, and I'm always up on here running my mouth talking about the tea in our community, holding good conversations amongst you all so we can get a better understanding and different perspectives on this situation. Okay, so let me carry on. So let me tell you about the video. So the night before, I told you he put paws on her. He didn't want nobody to see her. He put her up in a hotel. So I don't know what time this was. Looking at the video, it does look like it's light outside. So I'm assuming it's in the morning. And I guess she wanted to sneak out. She was tired and she wanted to leave. She wanted to escape. And it looked like she got shoes on. Now, one reporter says she came out barefooted. But let me tell me this. Looking at the photos right here, do it look like Cassie got some shoes on? I see the jeans. I see them light-skinned ankles, and I see something black on her foot, okay? Press 1 if she ran out barefooted. Press 7 if she got shoes on. They look like shoes to me, okay? Now, reporters said that she came out barefooted. They said socks. It don't look, it really, it looked like shoes. But people are saying socks. They said socks. Okay. I don't know what type of socks it is because I see them ankles. I see them. Don't socks cover your ankles? Y'all don't see at the last picture, y'all don't see them. That ankle is showing. Huh? Huh? Look like look like black shoes, girl. That show the ankle part, because every sock I know it's gonna cover your ankle part. See, y'all got to get it right. Not ankle socks, GG. No, ankle socks, girl. What? This is back in 2016. Ankle socks. You mean to tell me she got some socks that's halfway? Girl, well, anyway, it really don't matter if she got on socks, heels, shoes, or whatever, do it. But some of the reports were saying that she came out barefooted. And clearly it's something on her feet. Okay. So let me finish telling y'all what I was telling about. What Gigi take out celebrity gossip blogs have revealed over 10 years ago incident where Diddy slapped Cassie in the elevator amongst a few strangers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Haley, show the video. Show the video. All right, so let me get back to the story I was telling before I was rudely interrupted. Okay, so Cassie, she sneaks out. She got 2 bags in her hand. Okay, she is running to the elevator. Why didn't she take the stairs? Well, hell, she's on the 38th floor. They said she could have been on the 50th floor. Are you going to go down 50 flights of stairs? And she thought that she left in peace. She thought that when she left that room, that Diddy was in the shower. He had the shower running. So she snuck out, not realizing that Diddy was listening and that he could hear her. So she thought that elevator was safe. When you sneak out and that man is in the shower, you know, I don't know if she turned the TV up or turned the radio up. Okay, I would have turned something up. And clearly, he got some hell of a ears. His ears is on something because he heard that door close and he stormed out. And people are saying he wasn't in no damn shower because he wasn't even dripping. He had his socks on. Okay, so people feel like maybe he was taking a shit, or you know what I'm saying? Do y'all remember that time with Krishan Rock? She was on the toilet on live and Blueface pulled up on her ass. And she rushed off the damn toilet without washing her hand or wiping that ass. Maybe it's one of those things. Maybe you know sometimes. I know I do it. When I'm taking a number 2 and I'm at somebody's house, I turn that water on because I don't want them to hear, you know. I don't want that shit there. I don't want you to hear that shit. Okay. You shouldn't have to hear that. Okay. That's offensive. Okay. That shit is offensive to hear some shit dropping. Okay. So he wasn't in no shower because he had socks on and he ran out. So she thought that he was in the shower, but he wasn't in no goddamn shower. So he ran out behind her, rushing. He ain't had nothing on. And then they say the reason why he felt comfortable running after her with nothing on at the hotel room, because, you know, when he gets a hotel, he rent out the whole floor. The whole floor is pretty much designed for him. Ain't that nice? Damn. I wish I had money like that. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. I want to get money like that where I can get a hotel room and the whole floor is just mine. You know, that's lovely. I love that. I love privacy. I'm a very private girl. Oh, I can't wait till I get to that spot in life. Anyway, that's why they say he felt comfortable running out the hotel room with no clothes on. And I guess they were yelling at each other, and people was wondering, why didn't people hear it? Nobody was coming out. He wasn't concerned about people coming out the room and seeing him. Hell no, because that whole floor, and they say sometimes it could be the first floor and second floor, like 2 floors up and above. They will clear it out just for a certain person that got a lot of money to rent that space out. And you have to have some type of security to go up on those levels. So she's at a high. She's at she's sitting up high. Do you really expect her to go down all them goddamn stairs? The girl already got a black eye. We don't even know if her vision good. You know what I'm saying? She probably in a daze. She's probably dizzy. She's probably distressed, and you want her to fall down the damn stairs. It ain't happened. So, like I said, she thought that if she done snuck out, she didn't think that Diddy was gonna come behind her. She thought she was cool. So she started pressing that elevator. Honey, he didn't came out running. He didn't grabbed her, and I know, oh girl, that had to have been scary as hell. You waiting on the elevator, and then you hear Diddy Foots running and huffing and puffing. I know his ass was breathing hard like a goddamn dragon, like a dungeon dragon. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, wait. Girl, that had to be so scary. And he grabbed her, threw her on the ground, started kicking her all up in her face. Yes, he did. Then he had the audacity to drag her ass, and it was all on recorded. And people say, well, this happened in 2016. Why didn't they put it out before? They said Diddy didn't pay the people. They said Diddy paid them people $50,000 to shut it up and keep it on wraps. And I guess, I don't know if Diddy had a video footage or he should have just destroyed the shit. Why would you want to keep evidence? But people are saying that Diddy paid the management at the time. It's new management now, because I know people like, why don't you sue the hotel company? Well, it's in different management, so they can probably sue that management at the time. But and I guess Cassie would do that if she wants to move with that. But they said that they got that video of this video because after the Diddy raid, that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. And because of the Diddy raid, they decided to put this out because they said they cannot charge him, and they will not charge him. And when people realize that they cannot charge him, and the police say they cannot charge for this video and they cannot prosecute, people starts talking about, well, goddamn, what about Bill Cosby? You mean to tell me y'all can prosecute Bill Cosby some shit way back when and y'all didn't have no proof? And what about R. Kelly? So that is why I put up the other pictures of R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, because as soon as the people realize that Diddy will not be arrested or charged based on this video, people got their feelings, and they said, well, what about the other niggas? Okay. So I said, well, let's just talk about it all then. Okay, let's put it all out here on the forefront and things. All right. So this is what's going on in that video. I do have some video clips. And just the ending of the story with the video. He drags her in the middle of the hallway. He does not drag her inside the room. He goes inside the room with her bags. She proceeds to get up, and then she goes back into the camera in the middle where the elevators are, and she decides to get on the phone, and she calls the front desk. And then he comes back out the room because he feels that he drags you a little bit. He took your bag, so you got to come back. He thought she was going to come back. Well, he thought wrong. So he had to come back outside of that damn that hotel room, and go where she was, grabbed her off the phone, threw her down, and then he sat down in the middle area in front of the elevators. And he got that vase, and he threw that vase at her ass too. Yes, he did. And that was the end of that girl. And they said they got more videos on more videos. See, Alan, I would love to click on you, but it says device not connected. Can you fix that, girl, so you can come back up? All right. So these are some clips from CNN. They're talking about this. Check this out.
Exclusive now, and a warning. The video is disturbing. Surveillance video from 2016 obtained.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna play this. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna let this go ahead. See, Alan, talk to me. What's your thoughts about all this?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, Gigi. How are you?
Good. What's
My
up,
thought,
boo?
nothing. My thoughts on this when I saw this video yesterday. He's a coward. What kind of man? You can see that his weight, and he knows it, is so much stronger. The way he lift her up like she was nothing when he called himself dragging her, and then to consistently kick her, then throw a vase at her. What kind of person are you? We know you're a monster, granted, but to this extent, to a woman, she's by herself. She has no defense up towards him other than the fact she's trying to leave. So all that excessiveness, what are you doing? And he's not doing it around people. So he's not trying to prove a point to other people. He's just enraged to this little girl for no reason, excessively.
Well, I think he's trying to instill fear in her so she can be obedient to whatever
She's
he said.
already fearful. If he would have
Well,
just
she ain't
dragged her back to
fearful
the
enough.
room
She ain't fearful enough. She ran out that damn room
while he
without
was in the shower.
right. So that when you do that to a person like that, they like, oh shit, I gotta teach your goddamn ass a lesson. You think you gonna run away from me? Huh? Huh? See, Alan?
That's
See,
true.
Alan?
It remind me of Tina
So
and
you know
Ike.
what, see, Alan? Since you gonna run out this room and you want to do that sneaky shit while I was in the shower, bitch, okay? Because you know you wrong. I'm gonna have to tear that ass up again because last night I did it, and clearly that wasn't enough.
No, I won't. This time I got tagged. Yeah, on Cassie part though, I need baby girl to know how to kick, in the proper areas with the male. She put up no fight. Baby girl was so defenseless.
Yeah, everybody not a fighter. You know, she's sweet as pie. She's a flower.
But
And of
she went
course,
into fight or flight mode. When her flight mode was canceled, she should have went into fight mode, especially once he kicked her those many times. And then the sad part about it, I'm not gonna lie,
girl, I would have stayed my ass down too. Shit.
when she laid right there, I was like, oh, she done went unconscious. I mean, she laid in the still position. I was
Girl.
like, oh my goodness.
See, Alan, do you remember that commercial back in the day? I have fallen, I can't get up.
Yes, yes.
Girl, that's what I was
With the worst old lady actor. I have fallen and I can't get up.
yeah. You know what I be thinking, Sierra? I mean, Sierra, I think, okay, I'm not hitting you back, so I want you to slow it down on me.
Mm-hmm.
I would think because I'm not hitting you back that you would not continue to hit on me. That's my mentality. I'd be
Correct.
afraid if I'm gonna hit him, then he gonna really tap my ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the second time why he did that again, because she still did not learn. She still was not obedient. And she got up and she went back over there on the phone. And he felt like, okay, God damn it, bitch. How many times I got to kick your ass until you be obedient and you just do what I tell you to do? Why are you constantly defying me?
Correct. Because that's his mentality. That's the mentality that he had over Cassie for so long.
Uh-huh.
Because he felt like he was her God and that she was supposed to worship him and do whatever he said. But he was more like a Satan because nothing was godly about him. But the way that he took that vase and threw it at her, that is glass. He did not have any type of regard to this girl. And my thing is, why? When you, at this point, this is only 10 years ago. At this point, you have, with the daughters with like 7 or 8, how could you treat a little woman like this when you have 3 daughters?
They don't see it the same, see, Alan. You know, most people out here in this world are hypocrites.
They
They'll
are.
smoke all that smoke, but they don't want you to do it. So, you know, he treats Cassie like this because this is how he views her, but
Yeah.
he sees his daughters as a whole different level. And
Or
men
does
been
he?
like this. Yeah, they've been like this. I mean, I don't think it's to say every man out here treat women like your daughters. Wouldn't that be a nice, perfect world? They don't do that shit, and they not gonna do it. They're not gonna see certain women like they would want a man to treat their daughters. They don't operate like that. They don't move in that motion. Are you there, C. Allen? Okay, I guess something happened with C. Allen, but check this out.
From 2016, obtained by CNN, and it shows rapper and business mogul Sean Diddy Combs violently assaulting his then girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hotel.
What happens in the video appears to match Ventura's allegations in a federal lawsuit, which was settled just one day after she filed it back in November. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister has more.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs wearing only a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hall.
Now, when I'm looking at this little video, it does look like she don't got no shoes on.
The hotel room.
Hold on,
The
let me show
surveillance
y'all
video
this.
obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she...
Okay, would they stop doing that?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me put this up here. You back, C. Allen?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, girl, I can hear you. I guess the devil had your audio on a chokehold.
It really did, because a phone call came in, but typically I just ignore it and it'd be fine. But I don't know, it might was Diddy calling me. I ain't recognize the number.
Go ahead with your talking point. I want to show them. Oh, hell.
A CNN exclusive now.
I did not want them to start all over, Lord Jesus. Let me fast forward it if I can hurry up and fast forward it without showing too much. Okay, so look at this right here. I'm going to play a little bit, and it looked like she don't got no shoes on at this point. But look.
CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs...
Well, maybe she does. Shit, I don't know. All right, because is it good and close?
Can you zoom to the part where she's down?
Yeah, well, I got that on the clip, girl, right here.
Okay, because you can see if she has shoes. She does. She has on like black loafers. Because I remember her feet were still, and so was her arm after she had went down and he went back to kick her. She was just like limp, like playing as if she was unconscious. And he picked her up and he picked her up and dragged her. And actually he's kind of weak because Cassie, she couldn't have been no more than 110 pounds soaking wet. Like he struggled, calling himself dragging her down the hall. Like he could barely lift her up.
She stopped him. And she got up and she went to the phone. Because I thought how they showed the clip, I thought that he would drag her down that whole hallway. But no, he ain't dragged her. He just dragged her to the corner where you can't see. And then she got up.
And then she somehow went into the corner where the table was. And you can see like in the mirror reflection, he took the vase and he threw it at her, the glass vase.
Yeah,
in her direction.
Now, what were you going to say? You had some more questions. I was going to give you some answers, C. Allen.
Okay.
Just ask what?
Okay, like this is giving, like I said, this giving Tina and Ike, but on the next level. My thing is, I was talking about his daughters. Let me get to that.
Oh, yeah, not there with the man. They don't see it the same. They don't view it would be nice if every man would treat women like he would want somebody to treat his daughters. That is not how men view and operate. Most of them, especially men that do this, they don't see that. They see these women and their daughters on two different worlds. They put their daughters on a pedestal, and they will take out a man that would ever treat their daughter like this. However, they will do this shit.
He don't care about those girls and their feelings, and let me explain why. Kim Porter, their mother, those girls were very close to their mother, but in her demise is when he got them like full time because their mother was out the way. He didn't care about the effects it would have on her 4 children. Not even to his daughters, even to the fact that I had saw, and I have the clip on my phone, that at the girl's sweet 16, one of his kids did a little wink and said 16 and new 21. If you know, you know. This was at his daughter's party. There's no telling the things that these girls have been exposed to for his own pleasure, because he's not in his right state of mind.
Uh-huh. They say he beat up all his moms. Well, let me ask y'all this, because I know a situation right now where this man put pause on the mama. Okay. But now, the kids, I guess, forgave their father and they're cool. But the daughter has been in a situation of abuse. But the dad definitely want to take out her boyfriend. And he's ready to do so. So I also think that things are not just black and white. They do have different dynamics. And I want to ask y'all out there too. Have your daddy put pause on your mama? Have you forgave your daddy? Do you have a relationship with your dad, even though he put hands on your mama? Press 1 if your daddy put hands on your mama before, but you have a good relationship with your daddy and you love your daddy. Press 8 if when your daddy put hands on your mama, you decided to break that off and you have never talked to your daddy since then. But I find that a lot of people that I know that fathers put pause on their mama, they have a good relationship with their dad. Sometimes I had to check myself because I'd be like, I'm still mad at your dad. And they're like, you need to get over it because I have a good relationship with him and he's good and then this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So for me, I have to learn that everything is not black and white.
It's not. Especially, and it's funny because I'm sort of going through that with my son right now with over some graduation tickets. And I'm like, do you not realize, forget what he did to me, but the stuff that he did to you, and you go give up a seat, a good, valuable seat at this graduation for
Well,
him?
he loves his daddy,
I know.
and
But
people forgive. Everybody's not going to keep it. People do forgive. Everybody is different. So he has to do what's best for him to move
yeah,
on.
yeah. I just feel like he won't deal for them other 13 school years, not one time. But that's another story
Give
for
it to
another day.
God. Give it to God.
And I had to. That's exactly what I had to do, and
Give
I
it to
prayed.
God. Because
So,
all that anger will hurt you.
and you know what? I didn't think it was anger at first. I just want to briefly speak on it because I know other people had gone through this. I
Uh,
didn't think it was anger at first. I thought it was just like, I'm just looking at the past because I've let it go. I'm married now. I didn't realize that I was still hurt from the way that he was not there for me to give birth to our son. And that's where it really started from. Even before my son was born, no doctor's appointment, not being in the labor and delivery room and just prioritizing other things. But it's crazy because after that, my son called me. He was like, Mom, I don't think he can come because I want this person to come instead because they helped me. And then that's when my baby said, and Mom, can you help me get enrolled into a school where I live at? Because he's in another state. And I said yes after my baby said he was not going to college. So my prayers for multiple things was answered, but that's off topic. But I
that's
just wanted to
good.
bring that up. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play some clip it from CNN.
Begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can then be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse, allegations that Combs has repeatedly denied. Authorities searched Combs's homes in Los Angeles and Miami in March as part of an ongoing federal investigation carried out by a team that specializes in human trafficking crimes. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in some of the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged." Clearly very disturbing footage and violent actions that we are seeing coming from Diddy, who up until this point has denied many of these allegations from all of these lawsuits that he is facing. Aside from this lawsuit from Cassie, which he settled back in November 2023, he is facing 5 separate lawsuits, and he has been fighting back through his lawyers. In fact, just last week, we reported on a motion that he filed to dismiss a lawsuit from a Jane Doe that claimed she was 17 years old, a minor at the time of her allegations. And just a few days before that, he filed a motion to dismiss a portion of an entirely different claim. It'll be interesting to see now how this may
Girl, just tell me why he won't be charged. That's the only reason why
Right.
video. She doing all this and all that, goddamn it.
That's all that Diddy is facing.
I'm trying
but
to be
we have
patient.
yet to hear directly from him.
Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you for your reporting. Obviously, extremely painful to watch. Let's talk more about this with Ariva Martin, attorney and legal affairs commentator. Ariva, before we talk about these other lawsuits that Combs is facing, a lot of people may not know that the statute of limitations has run out for him to face charges in California. So please explain that to us, the fact that he won't be charged.
All right, so here we go. Finally, they're going to tell us why he won't be charged
for this.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are statutes of limitations that dictate when federal or state prosecutors can file charges for this kind of conduct that we witness. No doubt, this is criminal conduct. We witnessed domestic violence at its worst on this video, and it begs the question as to what law enforcement knew during this time period, during the time period where the statute of limitations was open. In the state of California, you have up to 5 years for most domestic violence claims. There are some exceptions to that. Not sure if any of those exceptions would apply in this case, but generally there is a certain amount of time in which a victim has to come forward in order for there to be a criminal prosecution. And that's what's so difficult about these cases, because we know that.
So basically, long story short, y'all, they ran out of time. You get a certain time before it's expired, and then you can't do nothing about it. But then that's why they say they put the video out, because they can't use it in court. But they just wanted to put the video out to show the people the type of monster he is, to destroy his reputation. Okay?
Correct.
That was the whole purpose. And it did what it did.
Correct. The court of public opinion. We can't take it to real court, so put it out for the public to see. Because at the end of the day, even with Diddy, this will hurt him more than a court case probably would, because his lawyers or whatever, because he probably would have got it so it couldn't be put out there. But now it's out here, and now the public is seeing you for who you are, regardless if it went to court. Cassie done already got money from all the abuse in a civil case. But this is just adding in to confirm what Lil Rod said, what she said in her civil suit, what other people are saying about him. It's showing him and the person that he is behind closed door.
So with this being said, people are saying, well, Bill Cosby and R. Kelly got arrested for things that they did 100 years ago. Why is 8 years with hardcore evidence not being taken seriously? So do you have concern out there about Bill Cosby and R. Kelly? Press 7 if you have concerns about Bill and R. Kelly. Press 14 if you don't care about them. The reason why I brought that up, because I've seen a lot of people make that comparison. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, we have to look at the type of crimes. And yes, they were, further back time, but the amount of victims that came forward with Bill and Benadryl, that's something different. People were taken in, so they had no clue. And because of that time, it really wasn't like a big law they really had to re-examine it. So that's a delicate thing, and it went to the federal part already. R. Kelly, he was still living that type of lifestyle. So that's how they got R. Kelly with that. And his statute of limitation was totally different because of the age of his victims, unfortunately. But with Bill Cosby, the stuff that he was doing, it was ahead of his time. So they made an example out of him. They made an exception for him to show, hey, we're not taking lightly of these crimes, no matter how old you are.
Well, look at y'all kings. Look at your 4 kings. Look at them. R. Kelly, Diddy, Cosby, and Jay-Z. These have known to be black men that are kings in the community, and they have all fallen. And they say Jay-Z is next. So they are putting an X on each one of them. Bill Cosby is destroyed. R. Kelly is destroyed. Diddy is destroyed. And they said next is Jay-Z. Now, some people say they're not watching Bill Cosby shows. I'm gonna watch me The Different World, okay? I just won't tell y'all I'm watching the shit. But yeah, eat, girl, bye. All right, so what else?
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like Rainbow Kid, they were within statutes because of the type of charges that they were. That's what I'm saying. And also the charges from back then when he did them, they didn't have as strong of a actual law to do that. So now this law is written. Now we can go back and do it. But in the beginning, when she first came up, the first person came and said, "This is what I believe happened between me and Bill Cosby." They dismissed it in a sense. So we thought, but what they were doing was they were trying to, okay, we're going to make it public. This person came up and said this, but then they had multiple people, so it showed a pattern on the behavior despite it not being written when the first person claimed it happened. And that's how the statute came in as well, because it was like there was no way for them to tell it. And they looked at it because of where it was filed at and said, oh, okay, we can go ahead and open a case on this, because they didn't do it as individual charges. That was one court case. So we get how statutes of limitations work, but it makes it look weird that, hey, Cassie can't use this video, but something that happened 30 years ago was able to be used, and it wasn't no evidence. It was based off a word of mouth pretty much of the victims, but the fact their stories were consistent, and the fact that it had been a law that was in act, and that they fell into the statute because of the type of law that it was, that was totally different than what this video that's coming out about Diddy. And on top of that, we have to remember the same way they raided his house, Diddy is not being ignored. This is stuff that takes years to get to the level that they did. Who's to say that this will not reappear with another case? It just won't be a separate case on its own, because they're slowly building the right evidence so that it will stick. Because when they get him, they're getting him for time. It will not be no house arrest. It will be none of that. He's going in along with the people that's hierarchy up there with them, like the Jay-Z's allegedly, if they have enough proof to bring the man with him. This is bigger than just Sean Combs. This is a whole industry of people that they're getting ready to take down. And they
Well,
have to
I think the world, it's a different world is about to emerge, and they can't have these individuals in the new world.
correct.
It's a new world. Every so many odd years, we always transition into a different world. When you guys was coming up, the world was not like it is today. Well, guess what? We are constantly in transition to moving forward. In the new world, we cannot have R. Kelly around. We cannot have Diddy's. We cannot have Bill Cosby. We cannot have Jay-Z's. We cannot have that going forward in the new world.
Correct.
So they're going to have to be an example and put on out here on Front Street. And this is a big lesson to everyone out here. You will not live like these individuals. Okay? They're giving you an example. This is a warning. Don't do what Bill Cosby did. Don't do what Diddy did. Leave women alone. You will not use and mistreat women and put paws on women and essay women like y'all used to and get away with it.
Correct.
Because all of these men, it has a connection with how they treat women. They have a connection with essaying women. They have a connection with doing sexual stuff with women. That is the whole connection. You will not misuse and put paws on women. That is it. The women is rising and they're saying no more. And we are going to a different world.
And it's also, it's not just the woman with Diddy. It's the way he treat people in general, because he has male victims as well
Yeah, but I'm
who
saying
spoke
the
up on
connection
it.
with Bill Cosby is women. The
Oh yeah.
connection with R. Kelly is women. So the message here is not, it's about women, because men during those times, they were known for getting away and treating women X, Y,
Mm-hmm.
Z and making women do X, Y, and Z to climb the ladder. And they shouldn't have to, you know? So that's what I see. I know Diddy may have some male victims, but to me, it's not about the male victims, it's about the women victims.
And I just think it's honestly, far as the feds, I believe it's about just the whole enterprise, because you have to realize, he had the Powerpuff, powder as well. I really feel like they're going after this entire enterprise. And when it comes to Diddy, I feel like it's a distraction, because we had someone in office who we heard for ourselves in his own voice saying how to inappropriately touch women.
You
Why
talking
is it
about
take
Trump?
correct? Why is
Well,
it
you
taking
know
so
what?
long to bring up these
I
charges?
think Trump name ahead need to be on this stick too, because
Correct.
he is alongside up here with these guys. And
Correct.
Trump and men like Trump going into this new world, we cannot have men like Trump and Diddy. They're overpowerful and they treat women like property, and just how they view women and how they push that energy into society is definitely wrong.
And it's like his stuff keep being pushed back, dragged out, or is mentioned for a second in the news, and then we get back on to, CNN talking about a rapper to the extent that they were like, they had a whole 30 plus minutes that they went over a video that was pretty much self-explanatory. But Trump has multiple victims that are coming forward. We have recording of him. Why does his court cases keep being pushed back? What is the difference between this white man, regardless of him being president or not, but this white man versus this black man? And the black man actually has more money than the white man. Why is his stuff taking so long when you have people that's willing to cooperate in this case? The case is pretty much done and built up.
Well, I think Trump, even though you say, the black man got more money, I think the white man, Trump, clear man, he has more influence. And it seemed like more people see him as God, like his people. And I think that he got people in certain places that are plants that are trying to work hard to get him on the throne.
That's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they keep
Trump
pushing
is
it
more
back.
valuable to his people than Diddy is to his people. When
Correct.
people look at Trump, they look at, oh my goodness, you're going to change our way of life. You're going to bring back where we felt safe in the world. Diddy does not give that security to his people. Diddy doesn't give nothing.
Exactly.
He's selfish. He does not give anything. But Trump, he promised his people so much. He tells his people what they want to hear. And people do believe that he will make good on his promises. And he's more politically, he got hands with Putin and different other individuals. He is way more powerful than Diddy would ever be.
Correct.
He is more inspiring than Diddy could ever be, because Diddy is a selfish individual. He is greedy and he is selfish. He is self-centered. And so therefore, you're not going to have people fighting for Diddy like you would a Trump. And I'm
Yeah,
not a Trumpster, and I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not a team Trump. So I don't want
but
you
you're being
guys.
honest for what it
Some
is.
people feel like because I may say nice shit about him that I like him and I'm on that team. I'm not on that team. Okay. So stop trying to make that narrative like I'm one of them. And I'm not. But go ahead.
But yeah, and my whole thing is what I'm saying though is the fact that he shouldn't even be allowed to be running for president based on the allegation and the corruption that he has done. Like, it's multiple things, and that's why somebody said don't compare Trump. Don't, I mean, we talk about P did leave Trump out of this. No, if we
No,
can bring
we
up
talking about all of them. You know what I
correct.
used to be. Well, let's not talk about this. Fuck it. Because when I don't talk about Trump, y'all be thinking I'm Team Trump. And I be getting a lot of people that be Team Trump. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not one of you. So hell yeah. Shit.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I'm bringing up Trump because there is similar patterns with the two of them.
Yeah, they
It's
both
just
monsters. They both
correct.
monsters.
At one point, Diddy was actually living in the Trump Tower, and him and Trump talk often.
Right.
So let's be real. So, yes, I'm going to bring it up because there are similarities between the two people, except one person keep having stuff pushed back while the other person, which is Diddy, they're trying to like bury him. But
Well,
Trump can
like
bury
I said
himself.
before, they are different valuables. They are not created the same. Trump, he's more valuable than Diddy. The clear man is way more valuable than Diddy.
And I just feel like if we go make example out
Do
of
you
black
agree with
people.
that or not? Do
Oh
y'all
no, I
agree
absolutely.
that Trump is way more valuable than Diddy? Comment, let me know. And is it about the race? I don't know. Maybe it do have some portion about race, but more
Mhm.
so what Trump stand for and what he promises his people, versus what Diddy stand for, and he doesn't promise his people anything. He takes from his people. He have not done his people right. People that are in, well, shit, I don't know. Trump may not do his people right either.
Right.
Think about that. See, Alan, you better correct me. Shit,
That's what I'm letting you talk
I
because I'm
might
like,
be giving him too
what has
much
Trump
credit
done?
because okay, I'm thinking about Mike Pence. How he did Mike Pence. He did Mike
Mm-mm.
Pence horrible, you know, and that was supposed to be his right hand man. So shit, Diddy, shit, they might be one the same, but it seemed like
Correct.
Trump give more than Diddy. I don't know why.
From
I
a
have
political standpoint, that's what it looks like. That's the perception that is put out there. But he's all for self as well.
They said Mike Pence was a joke. Well, how was he a joke? Now, when I see Mike Pence, he seemed like he was a straight up Christian and he was so righteous and all that. And he did not want to play those games with Trump. He did not want to lie and do all that deceiving with Trump. You know, I respect Mike Pence for standing up for his own morals and standards and not selling out to Trump.
Rainbow, okay, we're just talking about the comparison of people that have stepped up and said that there has been a pattern of certain behaviors,
Yeah,
particularly
Trump and
SA,
Diddy is on a trial right now. So that
correct,
is
and it
why
keep
they're
getting
bringing
pushed
up.
back.
Yeah,
And
they
he
are
has a
both trial.
following that the Republicans, they don't care for Trump, but they want his following at the same time because they feel like
His
he's all over the
influence.
place.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, they're making an example out of him, Diddy, and Trump. They're going to keep pushing it back just long enough for him to still be able to be on that ballot and to be voted in. Once he voted in, all that stuff is going to go away because he feel like he is free range to do.
See, Alan? See, Alan? There we go again. See, Alan? See, Alan. All right. So C Allen, her audio then went out again. All right, C Allen. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I did. But C Allen, come back up here. Okay, so I did want to play this little clip as well.
Exclusively obtained 2016 surveillance video showing Sean Diddy Combs physically assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in the hallway of a Los Angeles.
Okay, I know they're not about to show this video again. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted to show. This girl, she says she worked with Trump. I mean,
Assistant
Diddy.
during the time that he began dating Cassie Ventura, the singer. And I should note, you became his assistant as a part of the reality show to work for him.
I did.
Everyone remembers watching that. I mean, to first, just, I mean, what is it like for you to see this video that came out today?
I felt sick and I felt violently angry. And I felt like I'm sure a lot of men and women feel looking at that video that it's so disturbing that the video doesn't lie.
I mean, you know, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
So, okay, so a lot of people say it is edited. So could it be C Allen? She was barefooted, then she put her shoes on. So we saw kind of edits of that, C Allen.
It looked like that she had the black loafers on once she was.
But that was at the end. And the lady said in the beginning she didn't have shoes on.
We gotta watch that back because when she was
I'm
coming
not about
down
to
the
watch
hall.
that back again. Shit, I'm tired of watching that little clip.
But no,
Listen to what she
when
said.
did she put the shoes on? As she was
That
like,
part is clipped out. It's edited out.
Initially, after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it, was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly.
You see that? She's barefoot in the beginning. That means that she's not barefoot all the way through the video, just in the beginning.
Running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
I mean, that's terror. That's what you would do if there was a fire, right? You would just run out, grab what you could. So I can only imagine looking at that, the fear that she felt she had to get out of that room in bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant between 2008 and 2009, and they were dating when I worked for him.
And what was he like, and what did you observe about them at this time?
I observed nothing that would lead me to believe, or there was no scuttlebutt about it. I never saw him speak harshly to her or be abusive toward her or anything like that. I rode in the limos with them. I went to parties with them. I guess what I would say is, even though I never saw anything that could corroborate what's in that lawsuit and what we just saw, there was not one.
So basically, to keep the long story short, I seen it. She says that she had feelings. You know, she didn't see anything. He did nothing around them, but she had feelings that Diddy was a horrible person. And she's not shocked by the allegations because he was a guy that he likes power. When you're around him, he feel entitled. You feel his attitude of cockiness. You see how he treats people. He treats people like, okay, you owe me this, you know? And she says she sensed that around. And when you have a person with so much power influence, and then you have a Cassie, which she doesn't have any power influence, that dynamic of the relationship, that power, you know, one powerful person versus somebody with no power at all, that's not going to be a fair relationship.
Correct. I agree.
All right. Anything else, C. Allen?
No, I'm just completely in awe that the video came out and it holds no merit. But like I said, in the court of public opinion, it holds a lot of weight. It confirms a lot of things that he denied doing and how, oh, I would never do this. So it just proves that he's not only a monster, but he is a compulsive liar.
Got it. Somebody said that woman is lying. She saw his crazy behavior. No, not always. I've been around people and I would never think that he would put pause on X, Y, and Z. So you can be around people and not see a certain side. People know how to pretend and be a one way in front of people. Shit, y'all act like people don't do that. Everybody is not showing you who they are 24/7. So to think that she would have saw something from this man that knows how to manipulate, you crazy. If she says she ain't see shit, she ain't see shit.
Correct. And I wonder, as much as young Miami Carisha, I wonder what did he do to completely brainwash her to the point that she just embarrassed herself on her own. Like, it didn't take him having this to do anything. She was just okay with embarrassing herself. Even
Well, when it comes to Carisha, I think you act as if she is a princess.
oh
Carisha
no.
is hood rat. So
Mm-hmm.
what are we saying here? Shit, she would have did that with a regular nigga around the way. I mean, so I think when you guys are talking about this, you guys are projecting based on your morals and standards. Your morals and standards is not the next person morals and standards. We are all not created equally. We all was not raised the same. And y'all know we was not all raised the same. Some of us have higher morals. Some of us have higher standards. And it's okay with that. It doesn't mean that you're better than the next person. It's just we have a different lifestyle, a different view, a different perspective. Things that I won't do, but you would do. Things that I would do, but you won't do. But I think Carisha, she is a hood rat. I can understand if she was, say, for instance, the girl like Bill Cosby, you know, the girl that played his wife. I forgot her name.
Felicia
Oh,
Rashad.
Felicia Rashad. Now, if Felicia Rashad did that shit, I'm like, oh, I'm appalled because that's what I not known you for. I known you to be a classy girl, okay? And you turned into a trashy girl. But Carisha, she's always been trashy. She comes out in the music industry talking about she was Take Your Man. That is her music, and I like the shit. She'll take your man. Do y'all remember that? Wasn't that one of her first songs? I would take your man. So she is already in a trash bucket. She talks about taking money from men. Her whole aesthetic is using men for money and coming up. So what are we talking about? I mean, she is a walking prostitute.
Yeah, that is very true. But my thing is, he's so comfortable to belittle women. And that's not something you just turn off regardless of the background. That's not it. I just wonder, because she had no problem humiliating herself. I just wonder, to what extent
She
did
loves
he abuse her? She loved the money
it.
and she pretend to love the
Some people,
lifestyle.
I think, honestly, in this day and age, I think some people love the humiliation. I think some people love to get on camera and let a guy put all white milk on their face. You know what I mean? Girl,
Mm-hmm.
I go on TikTok or whatever they call that, X, Twitter. Okay, and I see pretty girls, like girls that is more good looking than Kim Kardashian girl. And they are doing some of the most freakiest things. And they doing it because they want to do it. Shit, they can work at Target if they want to. Popeyes is hiring, but this is what they want to do. And they good at it. Shit. They are really good. They got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. So one person can see, oh my God, you know, you're shaming yourself, but it's different perspective. Like I said, we all don't have the same beliefs and perspectives when it comes to it.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm just saying that I do believe there was some type of abuse for the brainwashing, and that her saying that she liked the golden showers and things like that, that was her way of getting ahead of the story before it was put out there, to make it seem like, oh yeah, I enjoy this, that she's a willing participant, thinking that she won't look as bad because she don't want to look like a victim. But she is a victim, whether she wants to accept it or not. She is.
Well, ain't nothing I could do. I mean, shit, we all victims, girl. Okay. We are all victims to something.
That's true.
Um, so shit, you can't. And the pissing part. I mean, he can't get in trouble for pissing. Okay, I think she would have been better off saying, "I love to get my ass whooped. I love when he chased me and he throw me on the ground and we role play like that." She better off to say she's into some like whips and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Love to get. He tied me up and he just whooped my ass.
Yeah.
And he make me say, "Daddy, please, Daddy, please."
No, Poppy.
Better off
Poppy.
saying shit like that to
Mhm.
correlate to this story, but her getting pissed on, to me, it does not correlate at all. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I just said it because she made it well known that she was justifying it. Now all of a sudden she like golden showers and
Yeah,
all
to
that.
me, it seemed like she just wanted attention. She
She
wanted something that was gonna go viral, and saying that would make her go viral.
and she knew that some stuff was getting ready to come out. So let me show that. Hold on, these girls getting ready to come out. But I
Girl,
like this stuff.
did
I
you
like
hear
this lifestyle.
did you hear about that girl? She was selling poop in a bottle.
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah. Do y'all know about that? Press one if you remember. It was a pretty girl. She was gorgeous too. And she was selling her farts in the jar, girl. Okay. And these men were buying it top dollar. Farts in a jar. Yes.
Mm,
Look it up. Look
I
it up.
believe you. I'm not going to dispute it.
Yeah. I mean, these people, they're all different.
They have terrible fetish, like very weird.
Fart in the jar. Shit. Who would have thought that you can make money off your farts? That's a good enterprise. Shit.
It really is, and you ain't really got to fart. Just get like the fart spray and put it in there, then ship them
No,
out.
she said she was real about hers.
Of
She ain't
course, you
put no
gonna
fake
say that
out.
so her people can keep
But
ordering.
she was I guess she eats stuff to make her farts. It's girl, it's some crazy shit out here. But these men love it. These men, they eat it up.
They or breathe it up. Yup.
And then Erica Badu, didn't she sell candles about her kitty cat?
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Yeah, they all into
Mm-hmm.
smells. And then you have some women, they say they love to smell their man's underpit after he works out. They love that musk.
I
Right.
mean, people are weird, and the sad part about it is more weird people than them because they're going to buy it. They're feeding into like silent fetish. Because I mean, what man is going around saying, "I love the smell of a pretty girl fart"? Like, no, but they do have silent fetish, and they will support it.
Well, I wish they'd take showers more. Can y'all fetishize taking a damn shower every day? Can y'all fetishize putting lotion? Why you so fucking ashy, huh? Can you fetishize that? Taking a shower every day and putting on moisturizer. Y'all won't fetishize that. Mm.
Listen, moisturizer and me, I put on lotion all day long. I'm
Yes.
going to get dry, but it's
More
just nothing.
hydration. Be looking dry and dusty.
And crusty, literally.
Real.
Skin crusting off.
Yeah. I'm like, nigga, did you shower today? I just want to lay up in that bed all funky. Did you even wash your sheets?
Right. Did you wash them, change
Can we
them?
fetishize washing your sheets? Huh? Can we fetishize changing your drawers? Can we fetishize that? Good hygiene.
Oh my goodness.
They can't
Definitely the
fetishize
sheets
that.
though. We need a lot of people. I know this off the subject of Diddy. But ladies, please wash your sheets, change your sheets. If you can't afford to have multiple, linens for your sheet, at least have two pairs. That's why when you're putting one in, the other one already washed, you can cover your bed and then fold the other one up. Ladies, I need y'all to do better based on the pictures I've been seeing on Instagram. I need y'all to clean the sheets, and I need y'all to put sheets on y'all bed. So I'm sick of seeing just mattress.
Yeah. Now we have DJ Tony here. How you doing, DJ Tony?
I'm doing fine.
What are your thoughts about he won't be charged? What do you have to say about that?
No such thing is going to happen. He's going to be charged.
Oh, okay. So the news report, I guess you're just not believing that. And tell us why you don't believe it.
Well, in the state of California, the statute of limitations for domestic violence is 5 years. What they're not saying is whenever you blacken somebody's eye, that's not just domestic violence. That's also aggravated battery. Okay. Whenever you drag a person across the floor against their will, that is kidnapping. That's the statute. They have statutes for that. You cannot hold a person against their will, period. And that has no statute of limitation. They're not saying that. I don't know why they're not saying it, but they're not saying it. And you can clearly count off the charges that he could get. They have a charge called throwing a missile. Anytime you throw a vase or a rock at somebody, that's considered as a missile. That is a charge. That is an aggravated charge. That is a weapon. It could cut. That's not domestic violence. That's beyond that. There's about 8 different charges right there. Holding a person against their will, which is a lesser condition of strong compulsion. But that's just compulsion. But strong compulsion is when you grab a person, you hold them physically, and you drag them away from an entrance or prevent them from going out of entrance. That is kidnapping, strong compulsion. Look it up.
Correct. Or abduction, depending on how they write it up. Yep, that's very true.
That's a 20-year offense. I mean, it has no statute of limitation. So I don't know what narrative that they're calling themselves trying to paint here. But anybody that knows anything about charges, no, there's a plethora of them on that video that are current. He can be picked up.
Police are they saying this, or do you think this fake police that's coming out with this saying that they won't charge him? Are the police real or not? Then
I don't believe no police said that, because if they did say it, they come out and do an official press report on that. I mean, anybody working for the department that's not in official capacity say whatever they want to say, but the persons that's going to present the charge, that's who need to be talking, or their representative. I mean, we ain't heard nothing from that. And that hotel, I did some research on that hotel. That hotel, the International Hotel, is not even the same organization as it was when that video happened. So they couldn't have turned over that video.
So where do you think they got the video from? Some people say the video from when they raided his place.
That's what I believe. I believe, or the other thing is, Cassie or someone else could have had access to the video, and they were able to nab it. Because common sense would tell you, if the hotel turned the video over now, right, they just unequivocally made themselves payable for a culpable negligent lawsuit, because they've proven that they committed culpable negligence by holding that information for what, 16, 18 years. And nobody in their right mind, their general counsel for that organization would not allow that to happen, because their risk management division would be going crazy, because that's an automatic payout. There ain't no argument to that. So nobody can make me believe that anybody from the hotel turned that video over. That would be a super bad situation for them if they did that.
Mm.
If they turned that video over, that's an automatic payday.
Got it. So 50 Cent says, and I guess, do you believe what 50 Cent? 50 Cent says the reason why they put it out here because they cannot use it in court. You say that's false. So
That's
you
false.
say 50 Cent do not know what he's talking about.
I can't say he doesn't know what he's talking about, because 50 is also known to throw information out there to have you think one thing and he's actually doing another. So I can't say that. I don't know. I don't know 50's character enough to say that yet. At the same time, common sense will tell you, if you look at that video and you pay close attention to it, there's a litmus of things that take place that presents other charge outside of domestic battery. One, she walked to the elevator holding her bags and she had no shoes on. She was running, fast walking to the elevator coming down the hall. When she got to the elevator, she hit the button. When she hit the button, Diddy comes flying around the corner. And while her back was turned, he hit her, then drug her to the ground. That's not domestic battery. That's aggravated assault. That's what that is. And also the other thing I'd like to say is, why they got to bring Donald Trump in the situation that has nothing to do with Donald Trump? Why has this got to be about color?
Well, sir, I brought that in there because I just wanted to show how they're treating the two different people. And one person is actually heard saying directly what he did, and it's still being drawn out versus this person, which is Diddy, not justifying anything that he's done, but they are really putting him on blast Front Street, and his stuff is being expedited in contrast to Trump pre him getting into office in 16. That's why I brought him up, just to compare the two, because these are things that he has said, it was heard, people can vouch for it, he didn't even deny it, versus Diddy. On the other hand, they're making sure, even CNN, they're making sure that we have visuals so he can be judged by the court of public opinion
Okay.
about the type of monster he is
All right.
compared to Trump.
Let me say this here. There's been no presentation of a violent charge that Donald Trump has done, period. And if he's paid women, if he had to pay some women off just to keep his name on it because he was married and cheating, I mean, that happens every day. Now, when you say there is no comparison in my book as a man, forget color or what Donald Trump charge is versus what Diddy's is. Donald Trump is charges he paid hush money, which he didn't directly do. Cohen did. Okay. And then on top of that, to go back, you talk about Donald Trump. What about the big massa you got in the White House? The 1994 crime bill that was created. That racist president that you so worship is the one that did that crime bill. Do you know that?
I didn't worship Clinton, but go ahead.
Well, not Clinton. Not Clinton.
So people in the comment section, this is what they're saying. They said Donald Trump said he does put paws on women, beat
Correct.
women. So you have a lot of people in the comment section. They don't,
He advised other people too.
I don't know. I don't know about that, so I can't speak on that.
He said it.
The thing is, a lot of these men, they have a lot of things in common. They're very powerful. They view women certain ways.
Yeah.
And shit, I won't be surprised if Donald Trump put paws on women. Shit, he probably do it worse.
He advised other men to do it. Just grab them by their genitalia.
Yeah, that's violent. That's violent.
That's SA. You can't just touch a woman. And then in that area, and you're telling other people all you have to do is grab them by blank blank. Like,
okay.
Come on.
Hey, you know what? See, you just made another valid point to it in that video that Diddy had. when he kicked her in the head and he kicked her in the buttocks, that's also SA. You know that, right?
So
I'm
with
aware
this
about the
case,
buttocks. Yes.
people are saying that because Diddy cannot be charged. Now, Tony, he believes that he will be charged, but other people feel differently. Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent came out and said the reason why they put this video out because they cannot charge him. This is what 50 Cent and others are saying. So when that conversation started, people started bringing Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and say, well, why did you guys send them to jail for things that you guys don't have proof on? And it was a long time ago. So, well, I don't even know if I can ask you, Tony, because you believe that he is gonna go.
Well, but I can answer your question as to what you said.
Okay.
That to me, that you just gave the common sense value that they're wrong at what they're saying, because they did less than what Diddy did. Everybody's going on by the statute of limitations for California, the state of California. But here's the caveat. Diddy didn't live in California. Neither did Cassie live in California. They flew there for that event, that movie premiere she was doing. I think it was 4 days later or 2 days later or something like that. So that's why it was there. That can be considered as trafficking. Don't anybody knows how the prosecutor is going to charge that case? We don't know. All they can do is pontificate, and that's all it is pontification, because that video proves without a shadow of a doubt anything worse than what R. Kelly and Bill Cosby was ever charged for. So it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense to me. That's not adding up. It doesn't equate at all. That's asinine to make a statement like that, to have someone that committed a lesser charge. Now, if the charge was just left up to the state of California, maybe that might be correct, because we don't know the degrees, the level of degrees that they have for the domestic battery charges. And if the statute of limitations ran out, of course not. However, this is across the state line. California has jurisdiction, but Homeland Security also has jurisdiction, because she stated in her suit and her complaint that she made to the police that she was as trafficked. And with that being said, that video would give predicate of probable cause to support that claim. So I don't know how they could say that. Doesn't make sense.
Correct.
They can tell me that all day long. That's a bunch of bull crap.
I wouldn't say he's worse than R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was very disgusting. But
I'm saying by presentation of that video.
Correct.
Not in
keep in mind, R. Kelly had a video too. So
you're not following what I'm saying. I'm not arguing.
I'm following what you're saying, but I'm just saying, far as that part go, I don't want to say who's more evil, who's more wrong. They're both wrong.
My point was not who was more evil. My point was they never showed a video of R. Kelly beating a woman up. They never showed a video of Bill Cosby beating a woman up. I'm speaking only to that. Not anything.
They showed a video. Assault comes in different forms, and that young lady was very young with the R. Kelly situation.
Again, I'm speaking of the presentation of the video that they released yesterday. Correct. Versus the video that I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but that's not the argument. The argument is they're not going to charge Diddy for the California instance, and I'm saying that's not so. If not, why would they release the video? For public opinion? That would taint the jury, and tainting a jury would mean that they would absolutely have a hard time getting a conviction. No,
they released the video more so like public opinion to show that, hey, this is who this person is, because
in the court of law, they just tainted the man's defense. You can't do that.
Yes and no.
No, it's not yes and no.
No, what I'm saying is, far as everybody isn't into watching the news and things like that, so they could potentially move the case and find jurors who have no clue about it and see it for the first time if the feds decide to open up, because it will not be on a state level. Because, like you said, it happened in multiple places the way he dragged her, and she was trying to get away. She ended up having to stay, and wherever he went next, like you said, he was
Mm-hmm.
trafficking her.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, Alan?
I
Okay, I
think,
think
yeah,
something
she
else.
dropped. But I understand what she's saying. So that gave predicate for them to be able to do that. So I think that video was a shot in the air to let other people see that they're getting ready to take him through the ringer. That's what that was, a warning shot. And people got a few hours to get themselves together and start talking, because if they don't start talking, I hate to see what the next round's gonna look like. I really do, because
Alan, are you back?
yes, I'm back.
What were
My
you
husband was
saying?
calling. No, I was just pretty much saying that with the situation, they're doing it on a federal level, far as with the video with Diddy. And if they cannot use the video, the whole thing that the prosecution and why they will let it go is because they still need that public perception of this monster. Because he is a monster. There's a lot being built up on Diddy that we have no clue about. And they're not going to release it because they're not supposed to, in order to keep their case. That video is light compared to whatever other evidence that they have found and they can use. But it does support detail to a lot of his victims.
All right.
so
Well,
why do you think that video would get released? What's your thought process of that? Why do you think they released it?
Because it shows his character.
Okay,
It
and
shows brother love character.
okay, so if they show what his character's like, then they're setting predicate for what?
I can't say what, but like I said, the feds, they are still building a case so it can be solid, because the feds just don't jump off of one piece of evidence. They make sure it is still wrapped tight to the point that majority of the time they're going to get a plea out the person. Because
Okay.
once they hit you with this, and this, it's done. Where it don't even go to a jury a lot of times.
Okay, but let's stick to the principle. That's well understood. They have a 99.8% conviction rate.
Correct.
That's absolute. Okay, so there's no doubt about that. So that, with that knowledge in mind, right there, right? The equivocal common sense value to that conviction rate would say that would let me know that a shot was thrown across the bow. So that would mean that if the evidence is thrown out to the public for the public to see, then that evidence may be tainted in court, which would mean it may violate the Brady right. Right. All right. The Sixth Amendment says that you have a right to adequate representation and adequate presentation of the law. Okay. So he would have time to come up with a defendable defense against the charge, if any were to come out of it. Yet at the same time, if it was to go to a jury trial, they couldn't use it because they tainted the jury's thought process by seeing it. You can't assume that they won't see it in this state and that state because it's all over the internet, which is global. So you can't say that. It's not like in a district where only a local news station can play and nobody in Charlotte would see it, but only people in Tabor City, North Carolina would see it. No, that's not the situation.
Yeah,
It's on
this
the
is
internet.
international. This
It's,
is an international video,
yeah.
but they have said off of the video that they can't make any charges stick from the video.
No, they didn't say that. You heard someone
Okay.
pontificating that. They didn't say that. They hadn't said anything. They just
Oh,
released the video.
okay. So
That's only people's
yesterday,
opinion.
the people's opinion is that the government's not going to use the video.
That's
So when they
correct.
said it yesterday, I forgot. I don't even know my source, but I will definitely find it. So when they said that this is something that would not be submitted into evidence, then that's just mirrored, because based on what you're saying, even if it is submitted into evidence, it cannot be used, but it's still giving people an example of the treatment Cassie went
They
through
they they
that
would be able to find.
confirmed her civil suit
They would be able to file what is called a motion of the mind to get that evidence thrown out.
thrown out. Correct.
Okay. Now that evidence may not get thrown out. You see what I'm saying? But if the prosecution is releasing this and then intending to use it, that could be considered prosecutorial misconduct also.
Okay, but did the prosecutors ever say that they are the ones who released it?
No, no one has said who released it yet.
Exactly. So I
So
mean, you're stating a lot of factual information without any factual events happening with them.
well, no one can give a factual event because unless you were sitting in the office of CNN when that tape was delivered to the desk, you don't know what happened.
Correct. And
But I could tell you this
you just
from
contradicted
history.
yourself though.
From history, we can count this cost. CNN doesn't normally take video from lower citizens unless there's an emergency situation, right? They shifted their whole narrative yesterday to Diddy.
Correct.
Now, if they shifted their whole narrative, that came from the network heads all the way down, right? Not only did CNN adjust their narrative, ABC Network adjusted their narrative to it. Okay. Now, if you notice, you didn't see any CBS, any Paramount station carry that story yesterday yet. Nobody saw any of those stations carry that story yesterday. Just ABC and CNN. More than network.
Let's go back to the jury then, because you
Wait,
have
no. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay.
Okay.
That lets me know that someone within the auspice of the government had something directly to do with getting that video to them so that it will be released worldwide. CBS is not worldwide. Their news is not worldwide. Paramount News is not worldwide. ABC's news is not worldwide. CNN's news is worldwide. So they intentionally gave it to the source that can taint this man's character to anybody that can see to be known.
All right. Now, BTF, how you doing? And I want to give a big old thank you to Donna donating $20. How you doing, BTF?
I'm good. How are you, Gigi? Hi, C. Allen. Hi, Tony.
Hey.
Now, what were your thoughts about this and about he's not being able to be charged? That's what a lot of people are going with.
All right. So my theory is a little different. I believe a case is coming down the pipes for him, but it is going to be a federal RICO case against Diddy and him being in charge of a criminal organization, meaning that he and his group, they do money laundering, bribery, blackmail, trafficking, pharmaceutical trafficking, all kinds of things in that manner. All right. So if there will be multiple counts, let's say on trafficking, and multiple counts on maybe with a minor, maybe with money laundering, etc. He doesn't actually have to be in those videos that they find. He can still be charged if he is the lead of that organization.
Correct.
So let's say there's 20 counts of S trafficking, and he's only in 2 of those videos. It doesn't matter, because if they find the people that are in those videos guilty, he's found guilty also because he is their leader.
That's correct.
So the same thing, like let's say someone in his group is sent to buy the pharmaceuticals, right? And in the commission of those pharmaceuticals, something happens with some pow-pows and somebody gets hurt. He can be charged with that. And if the person is found guilty of, the one that actually did it is found guilty of manslaughter, Diddy is guilty also because he is the boss. It doesn't matter that he didn't order them to do it, but in the commission of a crime, if another crime occurs, it doesn't matter. He is their leader.
That's correct.
So while this specific incident in this hotel that occurred, I don't think he will be charged for this specific incident. I do, however, believe that the video may be used at one point. And I'm talking about, we don't know if there's sound. There's a lot that we don't see. And the way I see it being used is, you know that Diddy's lawyers will try to paint Cassie and other women that appear in those videos that they were willing participants.
Correct.
What may happen is, let's say there's video that we have not seen or audio where we hear her screaming, let me go, no, I don't want to go back. Or they show video of her being escorted out of the hotel and into the hotel with the people watching her, his group, transporting a wounded Cassie or an unwilling Cassie. You know, that's what the states, the federal government's lawyers will use to say she wasn't willing. She wasn't a willing participant. Just because she's conscious at one point in these freak-offs, she is in fear. That's why she's participating. Do you know what I'm saying? So
That's correct.
I don't think that they're going to use like, there may be charges down the road in a separate case for this assault, but I think the bigger case on the RICO that's going to come down on him is going to be from, you know, it'll be 20 counts of this, 30 counts of that, because they're not looking at, let's say it's this domestic assault or aggravated assault.
It shows
that's
character.
Let's say 20 years. They want to put him away for life.
Yeah, this just shows character.
Yes. So you know that Diddy's lawyers, unfortunately, they are going to paint any of the females in these videos as willing participants. And what we don't see, because when this video was taken, it's those security cameras are on 24/7. So he could have been there for, let's say, 2 or 3 days. There's also going to be video of the various other people going in and out of the rooms if there were pre-calls.
That's absolutely correct. BTS, you just hit it on the head, which means in this particular crime, they could be RICO'd.
Yeah, but you just said that the video couldn't be used at all.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm saying
BTS,
okay,
not you. I'm talking about DJ Tony.
Okay. What I'm saying is it would. I'm not saying it can't be used at all. It would be up to a judge to decide if he would let it be admissible evidence into a case. But I don't think that they're looking at this. they're looking at this video in a much harsher case than what everyone thinking. Everybody's thinking that they're looking at this video for domestic battery, and they're not.
No, you just said that being by it's been put out internationally that the video pretty much was
That's what I
non-void.
that's what I said, and I also said that there are other charges that could come out of this video outside of domestic battery. That's what I said.
We didn't bring up what the charge would necessarily be.
I did say
You just said that that prosecution can try to answer it, but they're going to throw it out because they can't get a jury because
no,
they don't have access
I didn't
to the
say I
video.
didn't say they were going to throw it out. I said that it could be thrown out, and I told you that they can file a motion of mine to have it thrown out, but it would be up to a judge to decide that. I don't know that just as much as the lawyers don't know it. The only person knows that is the judge.
Yeah, that's true that the judge will make the decision, but you didn't even state that the judge will make.
Yes, I did. I also mentioned the motion of mine. Yes, I did.
You did mention the motion, but you did say that it could not be entered because it would be seen worldwide. Then you said that it was only seen
I said it
on
would. I said it
CNN.
would. I said that it would taint. I said that it would taint a jury.
Correct. It would taint a jury, but let me finish because when you first told your long
you're gonna say the right information.
No,
if you're right, I'm gonna agree with you.
Then you can correct me.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, you said that it would not be able to be admissible because of the fact that it's seen worldwide. Then you said that it was only put on 2 channels. So to me, that would mean that maybe it's not seen by everybody, because me personally, I don't watch CNN. So you're saying if it was on ABC or CBS, if people just watch those channels, then they wouldn't have access to it. So that right there makes it possible for a jury to come forward. When you said that this has been seen by everybody,
let me stop you from going on that ignorant rant you're going on right now. Listen, I said, I'm gonna tell you what I said. Don't take out of character what I said. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said. I said that is international, global, worldwide because of the internet. Did I not say that?
No, I said that, but go ahead.
No, I said it also.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Keep going. Because you said
So that's why it taints everybody. I even gave city names. I gave an example. If they saw it in Charlotte, they played on a station in Charlotte, and they played on a station in another city, and those people don't see it, have the same station, it's not going to come on. So they didn't see it. But because they put it on a major news network that sends sources, CNN, I don't know if you know, CNN and Fox Television feed television news stations all over the world. They don't just have their newscast. They also does what it's called feeder news, like the Associated Press and API. They do that also. If you ever worked at a TV station or radio station, you know that. So that news, that's why other people are able to use that link. And some programs would blur out the red CNN sign, but they will put their name on it, and then the left side of the screen, they would give credit to CNN for the video.
Correct, but all I'm saying is, and my point was, you agree with it being used for RICO, but when I had stated something about it, and like I said, I didn't interrupt you. You was going on how it can't be used and for the jury, this, then the third. But now you saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's for the RICO. When I kept saying we kept saying that it's a bigger case being built. We already know that a RICO.
Did you not hear me say that?
Okay, I think both of you guys are doing amazing, but I definitely wanted to continue with BTF. But continue what you were going to say, BTF.
Well, I do not believe that the video was given to CNN from this motel worker or hotel worker. I do still believe that it was somebody that was part of Diddy's crew, because, there's no honor among thieves. They are all going to keep certain things just in case for themselves as insurance. So I think somebody in his own crew that may still work for him or used to work for him kept. And they kept a copy or whatever. And they did eventually, let's say when Cassie was cooperating with the feds or, you know, years ago, she probably had this all documented. She knows the people that were around that were in charge of her, keeping an eye on her. So she probably named them. And maybe at some point the feds started secretly questioning them. And one of them said, I want to make a deal. And they handed that over. Now, they would be very useful because they would be able to testify as to the structure of his organization. Like, this guy was the money guy. This was the guy that went to get the pharmaceuticals. This was the person you contacted to get the, let's say, the talent for the freak-offs. This was the person that we get to put stuff into the bottles. You know, he would be able to, and he would be a great cooperating witness, because when they make those deals, the feds, you have to do what's called a proffer or queen for the day, where you have to basically confess to every single criminal act you were ever part of. So part of the deal when you make it is that if any of those things are going to be part of this RICO, you will basically get immunity. You will not do the same type of jail time. Let's say the guilty is 30 years. You could get away scot-free, basically. So that cooperating witness would be testifying to things that we don't know about that have been happening in the organization. And again, it's all about explaining the structure of Diddy's group. So even if he didn't, let's say, get the pharmaceuticals, he can say that was the pharmaceutical guy. And he could talk about things that went down on, let's say he's like the security, where he goes on different errands and things happen. They're going to find out about all these other things and they're going to cooperate. So for, you know, that basically that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was the motel or hotel person that gave up this video. I think it was the person, someone from Diddy's inner circle that is now a cooperating witness, that he could have gotten a copy and told Diddy that he had destroyed it, because I don't think it came from the federal raid on the house. I do believe somebody in that hotel was given money to give them the, let's say, 3 days that they were, the 72 hours of footage from that hotel stay. But I think that instead of that person destroying it, he kept it. So we don't know what other videos he kept.
BTS, I think that they bought the whole DVR box and replaced the
No,
other.
I don't think they bought the DVR box. I think that you know, the security guy at the hotel cannot say, oh, the box just disappeared and got stolen out of the hotel. No. He just gave them that, and you know, the motel owners or management just didn't know about it. He made a deal. He just gave them the, you know, it could have been, let's say, 3 CDs worth of film.
See, but that
so there's stuff that we don't see. We do not see. There may be video of her being literally dragged back into that room and her screaming. and they didn't show that. There
Well,
could be
I
video of
saw.
her being a doctor appearing in the video to the
Yeah,
hotel room to take care
yeah,
of it. There's
yeah.
stuff that we're not seeing.
I agree with that. Yet at the same time, I think that
Hi,
why
Rashida.
I'm looking at.
Hey,
I'm,
BCR. Hey, everybody.
hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Rashida. Hey,
Rashida, girl.
boo.
I'm looking at it like this here. If I'm going to pay $50,000, I'm not going to pay $50,000 for a CD and leave the video there if I'm trying to recover the video, because that would be fruitless. After I give them $50,000, they can still do what they want to do with the video. No, I want the DVR.
No, I'm talking about, if you're talking about a security camera footage, you're talking about footage from various cameras on that floor of that hotel.
It goes to one
the
source.
stay that they were there. So I'm talking about the originals.
Yeah, but I am also, and that the originals, all those cameras are wired to one source, a DVR box. That's where they go. Those cameras go to that DVR box, and that DVR box does the recording. That one recorder has several different screens that it records. Because if you look at the video, you see that those are different edit cuts. That's not one camera. Those are probably 4 different camera shots that they showed in that video. So,
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, from my side, I have a hard time believing that he paid $50,000 for a CD and left the video at the hotel. That would be fruitless because.
No, I'm saying that they took the original CD or VCR, VHS tape, whatever you want to call it. They took the originals.
No, those cameras don't. Those cameras don't record the video.
I don't think Diddy then went and looked at all this footage. He's just depending on his crew to get the video and destroy it.
Okay, those cameras don't record on tape. They record on a hard drive, which is called a DVR. They're not recorded on tape. They're not recorded on CD or DVDs. No one has used CDs or DVDs in the security industry since 2015, 2014 in that area.
That's not true.
Okay, all right.
That's not true.
I don't need to argue about that. That's minor, but I don't think he got a CD and just left it there. That's just my opinion. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's just my opinion.
All right, Rashida, how you doing?
I'm good.
So, I know you were heartbroken when you heard the news this morning and people was pushing the narrative that he will not be charged with this video that's going around that he was putting paws on Cassie. What was your thoughts, Rashida?
I kind of was heartbroken yesterday because I seen a few lawyers going over it, and they was kind of saying that already. They were saying that for him to be charged with anything he did to her in this video is highly unlikely because of the statute of limitation, because their case was closed. But one of the lawyers was saying that if he has any other charges that's more present, right? Anything that they charge him with now, they can use this video as a character witness piece, like just to show his character. And they even was talking about the girlfriend who recently came out on the Tasha K show. Well, not recently, it was actually before Cassie's lawsuit. And she was stating these same things. So if anything else that they charge him with is related to the things he was doing here, like kidnapping, abuse, any of these things, then they can use this video, but not to bring up charges on him for Cassie. So I think that this video was something that they seized from, I think this is the video that he paid for, and it did come out of the raid. That's just my personal opinion. I think it was more so put out so that any celebrities or people of authority that was trying to back him, it kind of puts them in a corner when we all see that he actually was doing things like this, because now you have all of these celebrities coming out saying, okay, they was wrong.
Yeah.
They apologized to Cassie.
Yeah.
They said they don't respect Diddy. So I think it was more so when they do go for the charges, he don't have a host of people that are influencers standing behind him. I think that's what it was about, because no influencer, nobody like of any stature would stand behind something after we all seen this, because they already know how everybody feel about Diddy. Why would you want to be attached to that in any type of way when now we see it? Before it was speculation, now it's hardcore proof. So I think it was a warning shot from the FBI. That's what I feel.
Mhm.
All right, shout out to Grown Men Talk, donated $10. I appreciate that. Chanel, you've been really patient. So Chanel, please give us your perspective.
So this is my thing. My biggest issue with the public is that whenever a woman accuses a man, or I'll say victim, accuses a man of some sort of violation of her, physical or otherwise, it seems as though the public, and to me, especially women, want to ask that alleged victim a 33,000 questions about when it was, what time it was, why did she leave, why did she come back, how can she remember that, it's a money grab, on and on and on. And if they somehow produce evidence, such as this video, then those people, because they still don't want to believe their favorite celebrity committed whatever egregious crime, then they'll go with, well, I'm going to just have to see, and we're going to just have to let the legal process play out. And it's just like, it's so asinine. So that's my first issue. My second issue is I just wish women and men would not sell women so short, because I feel like our society does this, especially with the money grab type comments. They'll say, they basically are saying women are too incompetent, uneducated, unintelligent, and they're idiots who are so utterly and completely helpless that women, the only way we can come up is through some man. Let's be very clear, especially Black women. We are the most educated people in the United States of America. So let's just be very clear about that. So we, people like me who have 3 college degrees, I can sit here and say, thank you. I can sit here and talk about all the empirical data because I worked in sex crimes. I worked in family court. So I know for a fact that 1 in 4 women will be subjected to this type of egregious behavior. And people will justify it because they like this person's song, that's their favorite celebrity, and they don't want to believe it, because then if they say, well, you know, I believe this victim, then they have to question themselves, right? Why would I believe, like, and love some celebrity that could do this? Because then that says something about you. So instead of just being like, you know what, since I don't know, let me just be quiet. They want to criticize, victim blame, and shame women specifically, but most victims, into submission and not saying anything. They want to get on the internet and terrorize these people. And it's ridiculous. And I'm just like, come on, y'all, let's just wake the F up. For real. We are too educated and too intelligent. Because here's the other money thing. So if it's Cassie won all this money, or any woman who, you know, had a baby with a football star or a rapper, whomever, we always want to say, well, she did that for the money, and she stayed for the money, and she came back for this, that, and the third. So if that's accurate, how do we explain the millions of women across the whole entire world who stay with the broke dude that's also beating the S out of them? How do you explain all of the women that aren't millionaires, that aren't married or have a baby daddy that's a millionaire, staying around year after year after year, being abused violently if it's just about money? Stop it. It's another distraction to say it's about money. The other distractions I've been hearing lately on the internet is, oh well, she being Cassie, she saw how Diddy treated, what's the lady's name that passed? Miss
Kim
Porter. I
Porter.
forget her.
Porter.
Cassie. This is a distraction tactic for the people who don't want to believe the celebrity did it. And so it's like, let's distract these people with, well, Cassie knew what type of man he was. Again, let's go down a list of all of the people that all of us know. If we want to talk about violence against women, please talk to your daddy, your uncle, your cousins, your besties, and all of these people about why statistically men continuously are the aggressors and the perpetrators. So much so that we have Congress, at least in my state. I don't know where you guys are, but there was legislation passed back in 1996 called the Violence Against Women Act. And I was writing a paper back in college, and when I was doing my research, I found out, at least in Texas, that because you have to renew certain laws or certain things that Congress is paying for, right? So it has to go back to the House and whatever else. It's not permanent. So what happens is, when I was doing my research, is this piece of legislation that would protect women sat on, I guess, countless congressmen and women's desks for over 3 years. So that shows you how much we do not value women. You too busy fighting in Congress to say this is something that matters. And let's be clear, that wasn't even passed until 1996. So how many years were women just taking it and had no protection? And also, too, if you really look at it, if it was up to the woman, why would we then pass a law that says, you know what, the victims, specifically women victims, are probably going to be asked by the police when the police get there, would you like to press charges, right? And guess what? The victim is most likely going to say no. Because why? Statistically, that person probably won't even go to jail. And then if they do, they're going to get out in 3.5 hours due to overcrowding, right? And guess what they're going to do then? Come back and reoffend. So you scared me. So we have to have legislation in place that says, you know what, even if the victim says she doesn't want to, or he, because it could happen in the same sex or whatever, right, doesn't want to press charges, the police must press charges. Now, I'm not sure if that's a federal law or if it's a state by state law, but why do we have to have all these rules? And let's be clear, one last thing. When whoever was writing the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, guess who those people were? All white men. What? Please believe they are not going to do what's in our best interest. At that time, women couldn't even, let's be clear, for so many years, women couldn't even own property. They couldn't get a credit card. They couldn't do, you need your husband to do everything.
You better talk, girl.
In my mind, I'm just kind of like, knock it off with trying to put because they have if you look at the system as a whole, it's put in place to protect,
belittle our voice.
Right. And that's why they call it domestic violence. Because let's be clear, if that same man didn't know her and he punched her or beat her down or whatever in the Applebee's, guess what that would be called? It wouldn't be called domestic violence. It would be called what it is, which is the A word that I know I can't say.
Thank you. That's correct.
That's what it would be called. Right. If two men are boxing outside, they would charge them both with the A word. I'm sorry, I almost said it.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. But because we want to minimize the public's thought processes, we want to use a word that's going to say to people indirectly, that's them and their problems. That's a home problem. We need to stay out of those people's business because they don't have anything to do with us. But everything else we give the right name to, because we know that we live in a toxic environment in this world that has conditioned so many people, and especially women, to come against their own best interest. Don't do that. It's so unlogical to me that I can't. And the people that victim blame, I'm just like, where is your intelligence meter? It's not saying you have to agree, but why are you so fiercely defending someone that you don't even know? It would make better sense if it was your husband that was getting accused, your brother, your son, or people that's close to you. I could see how logically you would want to protect those people. But P. Diddy, R. Kelly, Weinstein, Epstein, and on and on and on. Why are you running to these people's defense? Why aren't you asking them? Why is Cassie accusing you of this? Why are these 50 victims accusing you of this? No, we want to ask the victim. It's annoying. I'm sorry for taking up your time.
Oh, Chanel, you better stop, girl. Listen, Chanel, you've been here waiting patient. And I had everybody up here and you were sitting up here patient. Girl, I didn't know you was a jewel or a diamond in the rough.
Thank you. You're so funny.
You need to call more often. Shit, I don't know you. Thank you for researching.
I just stumbled upon your
I just had to put everybody down. I said, I don't want nobody to interrupt. Go ahead, Chanel.
I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe because I just basically clicked on any live and then I was like, okay, they talking some good stuff.
Okay, the messy sweet spot.
Right.
Keep talking, Chanel.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yes, I do. I've been warning you. I have my legs kicked up, laying back, just listening. I'm entertained. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you. Well, to me, I hold on one second. I've spent my whole adult life in service to others, specifically people, like I said, worked in sex crimes and children's court and all that kind of stuff. And you know what's very interesting? I'll share a story about a case that I had years ago where there was a 3-year-old who was what's the right
Let's not get children. If we can stay on this Cassie case, because what you're talking about has everything to do with Cassie. You have a woman here that has been, put hands on by her boyfriend for all these years. And so many people have turned a blind eye about it. So many people knew about it and said nothing. So I definitely think the laws need to be changed to help women in these situations, because we hear about these stories so often. And I'm just so thankful that Cassie is alive, because women like her don't make it to have a voice, don't make it to get revenge or a little revenge on her monster, because she can't get what she got taken from her. I mean, these are years. Her youth has been taken. She has been traumatized. She's gonna have this scar for the rest of her life, and she did not need this scar. It could have been prevented if this monster would have knew that, hey, people are going to get you for doing this to women. But he knew that he can get away with it, because I'm sure he's seen other men get away with it. And that just goes to the system. It's normalized for these men to hit on women. And you know what annoys me is, oh my God, I can't believe a man would do that. Bitch, where you at? Okay. Because on the news, you see it happen all the damn time. So I need you to use your outrage. You should be disgusted every goddamn day. Every day. Because these Black women are getting taken out of here, what they say, 3 to 4 hours every day by their boyfriend, husband, or ex-lover, whatever. And I don't see your outrage, your fakeness then. Are you listening? Are you looking around? It's in your family. It's in your church. It's in your neighborhood.
Correct. And this is the thing too, for the people, to me, it's especially egregious when they try to shame victims because of the person being a celebrity that they like or whatever, and they get on their bandwagon of why was she there and this, that, and the third. I want to make it so clear that it wouldn't matter if she was if someone says, don't go to the south side of Chicago because it's so dangerous and this, that, and the third might happen to you, and you go, then they say, well, you're to blame for that. No, I'm not. The victim is not to blame for anything. The person that affected me or attacked me is the person responsible for it.
Chanel, why can't we have a place where neighborhoods are safe? Because I'm sure in that neighborhood you're going to have kids there Why do we constantly promote and not do anything about neighborhoods our kids are around, the environment that our kids are around? Trying to walk around our neighborhood at night and just knowing that we are safe. What is wrong with that? Why can't you walk around the neighborhood with your boyfriend or your child and have a nice stroll trying to burn off some pounds? But people can't do it because they don't feel safe. That is sad. We live in America. We don't live in a third world country where it's so dangerous, but it's like we are in a third world country in these neighborhoods.
But it's because, well, one, like I said, who wrote all the rules, but also too, it's difficult for people to. Okay, let me say it like this: the reason people think this way is because of toxic conditioning, right? So think about what you heard growing up from your ignorant, not you personally or anyone personally, but ignorant statements that people in your family say about, oh, that R. Kelly didn't do it, or Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC. This, that,
Yeah,
and the
okay, I give you some. Well, they wanted it anyway because they trying to be famous. These girls are fast. For little girls that's 12, 13, oh, they're so fast. They are whores.
But let's be clear
He
too.
was trying to cheat the kid. The 13-year-old was trying to seduce him. And that's a man. A man can't help himself. That's his nature. So I blame the 13-year-old. She should put some clothes on.
Yep.
And the parents should teach the girl to not be around that grown man. She's so fast.
Here's the thing: if I decide, and the 13-year-old decided to do cartwheels butt naked down the street, it doesn't matter. You still are violating me if you touch me. So I'm not in violation of anything. But here's the thing, though: if people. Okay, so here's the thing: I feel like people, generally speaking, across the world, have a collective unconsciousness that there's a chance that a little girl may be or molested, whatever, by a man. And let me tell you why I know that's true. I have not, and I would love for somebody to put in a chat if they have seen this ever in their life. I've never in my life seen one daycare that's ran by 100% men, all the staff are men, the what do you call those people? The executive director are men. Who's dropping their kids off? That's my point. If this daycares are very profitable. So why is this the only industry, childcare, that men aren't in? Please explain to me why that is, unless he's maybe the maintenance man. And even then, why do people know, and why if a man did that and opened a daycare, he would never have one customer? Is because collectively, unconsciously, we all know there is no possible way that we're going to leave any child with a room full of men. We're just not going to do it. So that lets me know that people are aware of it. In your own family, you're aware of it. That's why people say stuff like, well, don't leave so-and-so alone with uncle, this, that, and the third. They can know, but they don't want to bring shame to the accused. They would prefer to just say and use against the victim things like, well, like how you say,
you got some men, Chanel, that will not even change their own daughter diaper.
Right.
They just won't do it. I'm like.
And then I remember this when I was growing up. People would say stuff like, oh, don't sit on that man's lap. So again, it's that collective unconsciousness. Why do you even think to say that? Because you're clued in to what might happen. But people still believe that it's the woman's fault. It's the victim's fault. She shouldn't have had her child at this place at this hour. She shouldn't have been she was doing this for her career. People don't want to believe, especially in my opinion, celebrities, for whatever reason, they do not want to believe those celebrities. But if you take the list of things that Diddy has been accused of, and you did a newspaper to the people in your community that this man, don't put his name on it, but this man has this list of charges and he's coming to teach at your child's middle school, there is no way in hell anybody would take their child to that. They would be I know I would be in high protest. But somehow when we add that person's name to it, then it's a problem. I mean, then it's no longer, we have to question everything. But it's because we live in a toxic society. We do. It's unfortunate, but people just don't like to believe victims for whatever reason. They would rather sit around and make excuses.
Nah, it's about a lot of time the women victims. When a man victim come out, they okay with that. They believe them. But the women victim, oh hell no.
Yeah. She got to be wanting something from him. I'm like, girl, I cannot. But that to me comes from, I just feel like if you thinking like that, then that's your history, meaning that's the people you grew up around. And that's what you heard. So now that's law for you. You know what I'm not saying? But if you're intelligent, if you're unintelligent, meaning you don't know, go read a book. Go look at the statistics. I'm not lying about nothing I'm saying. These are all facts. This is what, if you went and did some empirical research, you would find, you know? But
Well, they
it's
not
never
doing
going to
no
change because
research.
he has too much money and power. He's probably never going to see the inside of a courtroom. And that's the other thing about people saying, oh, well, she just did it for the money. If she really was so, you know, traumatized by it, why didn't she just take it all the way through the legal process? Why? Is because her attorney most likely educated her and said, listen, this is what's going to happen. You can roll the dice and you know, with the jury of your peers, and we already know the jury of the peers don't want to believe a victim anyway. So just be clear, some of those people are going to be selected to be on the jury. So you can roll the dice and hope that he goes to jail, but he's never going to go. They're never going to convict him because you need proof. And even with proof, his attorney is going to work night and day to keep this type of video of his past in the new case. They're going to work very, very hard for that. So that's one, you're probably going to lose. That's what your attorney is going to advise you. So that your attorney then says your only other option really to get any type of something from this idiot is to sue him in civil court. And then once a woman or a victim does that, then people pounce because, oh, see, I told you it was all about money. No, if we know, if my attorney has said and advised me that there's probably less than a 10% chance that this will ever go to court, and if it does, he's not going to get convicted, then I'm coming for your pockets. That's just the truth. But when people see that and they say, oh, he paid her $30 million, they use that to justify. They're like, why didn't they just let it go to court? Because any intelligent person, if you read the statistics, those people don't go to jail. They don't. And when they go to jail, it's not for very long. And like I said, they're going to get out and reoffend. But anyway, that's it.
Girl, I want to role play with you one day.
I love you.
I like Chanel. Stay right there, Chanel.
Okay.
BTF, Alan, what are your thoughts about Chanel's viewpoints?
I agree with Chanel on a lot of things that she said. I feel like everything that she said came from a very clear point of view. Like you said, everything's not black and white, but she made it very simple to the point where it's just like all you can do is listen because she's just not pulling stuff out of the air, in my opinion. And you sound very young, by the way, Chanel. So if you have 3 degrees and you sound as young as I think you are, congratulations, baby. Aim for the stars. It's all yours.
Thank you. But no, I'm almost 50. Sorry.
Oh, that's still good too. You sound good, girl. Chanel,
But-
you didn't have to tell us that.
Yeah, we have to say your age, but either way, yeah, like, come on. I love black educated women. Like, we have to stick together a little bit more, especially now. But everything that she said, it came from her point of view, also with education behind it, and she stood on what she said based off of factual and personal experiences. So I like that part. It was consistent.
Okay. BTF, your thoughts?
I totally agree with her as well. And I can say that right now I am still very saddened to hear, even with this video, that there are still people that believe that either it's still that she somehow provoked it, or we don't know what else was happening behind the scenes. And it's you know, people are still almost justifying his actions. I still see that. I saw a comment the other day that someone said, well, you know, sometimes a man just needs to put his paws in fist to a woman. I mean, yes. So I'm saying that that mentality is still out there. It's almost as if even if you had everything on video, there will still be people that will justify what he's done. That makes me sad.
Unreal. Who raised those people? So they really view women as like a third or fourth class citizen, as if they're not equal to them, because they wouldn't want nobody to drag them like that, them being a man.
Yes. What I really would love for people to do is to do the research into the psychiatry of a trauma victim in terms of somebody that was a victim of SA or DV. And they talk about how, especially with SA, there are people that when they go through something like this, it may take them years, if ever, to even get mental therapy for what happened. So forget about even thinking about filing charges, because when they finally do get to that point, the statute of limitation is over.
Wow.
And yet when these women do come out, because let's say in their state, the Adult Survivors Act comes out, then what happens? They get assaulted by the public again. Oh, this happened 30 years ago. This is a money grab now. You know, they're lying. They just want to be famous. They want to be in the spotlight. And they don't understand that in terms of the trauma of the act, it doesn't stay as, it's not over once the bruises are gone. It's years. Some never talk about it again.
Right.
And I wish that people understood that.
Sorry to interrupt you, but why do people matter? If I'm suing Diddy for what he did to me, then why they don't got nothing to do with y'all? This have something to do with me and Diddy and what he did to me 10, 15 years ago. Why are y'all getting so involved? Why do y'all hate me for telling my truth about what happened to me and him? It has nothing to do with you. You still gonna be able to sleep. You still gonna have them bills. You still go ahead, BTI.
But let's just look at Cassie. Before this video came out, there was still negative thoughts about her, that she was doing this for the money, that she could have left at any time, that she basically stayed because she liked it, or she stayed because the money was more important. You know that you've seen those comments.
What money?
But you know you've seen those comments.
I have, but
right?
What money did she leave with, BTF? Can you please tell me what money? Did she got a big old billionaire when she left Diddy house? I mean, what
I know.
With?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. The negative, I'm just hoping that people see from her point of view. If you at any way believe that there's a 10% possibility that these things happen to her, do you understand that that kind of comment is re-traumatizing her? It's the worst thing for a trauma victim to have people around that don't believe her that it happened. Think about all the negative comments as soon as her lawsuit came out, that 30 or 60-page lawsuit came out. And then it was settled within a day. There were still people saying negative stuff about her. That, oh, she did this for a money grab. Right?
Yeah, I know those comments. To be honest with you, I haven't really seen a lot of negative comments. Only person I seen was KFC, and that's it. Maybe I just don't be looking at different places you guys look at. So when you guys tell me all this, I'm like, what? I know people out there, I just don't see it.
Well, did Chanel or is it Chanel or Chanel or C. Allen? Did you see those types of negative comments saying that it was a money grab.
Yeah, I mean, it was said in comments. People went on platforms and said it. Yeah, tried to debunk the validity of what she was putting out there. Yeah.
Chanel,
And
did
you
you?
know,
Yep.
don't you remember that happening with Bill Cosby's victims?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All those women, it took them that long
Yeah, the
that they don't
beginning
believe
women
that it
had it
happened to
worse.
them. They just wanted to be famous.
Yeah, the beginning
Mm-hmm.
women who came out had it really bad for Bill Cosby. Yeah, because they was like, why did they wait so long? And if you
Exactly.
come up with this type of story, yeah, the first two or three had it the worst. But I feel like in the Cassie situation, because people already have their preconception of Diddy, far as when it comes to Biggie, Pac, and stuff like that, and even when Shine took the fall for that night at the club, people already had an idea of what he was capable of doing and the type of person that he was. So it wasn't as much as a shocker compared to the Bill Cosby situation. It was more people that believed it versus the ones that was like, oh, no, Puffy wouldn't do that because he has shown his hand before without directly showing it.
Yeah, and a lot of the backhanded uh, remarks where whether you're talking about Diddy or Cosby or any other celebrity, no way would he do it. He has women throwing themselves at them all the time, or he's got much money to do something like that. It's like this reverse justification that there's no way that this man is guilty of this because he's got a pile of money and he could get any woman he wants.
Yes, I heard those narratives as well, but I'm like, but the things that he want are not the common things. Even if you're in a private relationship and y'all do submissive stuff, it's still not common activity. So that's why people's like, oh, I'm not surprised. Even when he had a video out and he was standing there with Usher and they was talking and Usher was looking like you going too far. Like he done gave his stuff away on plenty of occasions because he's under the influence of multiple things. He don't realize he has already put his own image out there. So when this came out, it kind of was a no-brainer.
Right.
Nobody was shocked.
It's crazy. And I hear, when people make comments, when they say, he got so much money, he can have any girl in the world. Well, that makes common sense, but you're not dealing with a common sense type of guy. I would say, well, and I know it's wrong what I'm about to say. Well, why can't you just get a foreigner that can't speak English? Shit, But that's horrible, right? That is so effed up that I would say that.
I mean, that's what Trump did, not bringing Trump into it,
Well,
but
go ahead.
that's what he
We gotta
did.
bring Trump ass into it. Go ahead.
I mean, that's what he did. He got mail order bride. She learned a little bit of English, but she rather just stay away from you. Like she's not in the White House with them. Their son go to school in Florida. Like she don't want to be near him. She's like any way to be away from him.
And I guess why did I say foreigners? I guess I say because certain foreigners, that is their culture, which is wrong. But that is their culture. They'll be more submissive and obedient, and they have nothing else to live for because probably their parents done sold them off. And Diddy can have his foreigner lady that don't speak English, that don't want to go anywhere. I don't know. It's wrong all around because you shouldn't be treating no foreigners like that either. You shouldn't be treating nobody like that.
I think you're basically saying that because if there's a language barrier, that person literally would be isolated. They literally would have nobody to run to. Because if they're in a community where they don't get the language, the only person they're not themselves famous, they're not taken out in public, and he's got all his crew around you, you've got nowhere to run.
Yeah. And if you feel like this is normal and that is the culture you come from, it's just to be obedient and be thankful that a man is taking care of you.
Uh-huh.
But he decides to go for Cassie, and a girl that don't want to be there. And he knows she don't want to be with him. He knows that, but he constantly pushes himself on her. What is the mindset behind that, Chanel, of a man constantly forcing himself on you when he know you don't want him?
It doesn't have anything to do with the number of women out there that he could have. The cycle of violence has to do only with power. So yeah, I could have someone come willingly, but I would prefer to force. I would prefer to have some sort of control and over this woman. I would prefer to create, you know, another victim because I'm a narcissist. And so then I'm gonna drug her up and then make her do some egregious things, whatever they may be, with these other people, and then videotape it. So now if she ever tries to leave, she ever tries to do anything, I can shame her and say, if you try to leave, you don't come back in 10 minutes, whatever the case may be, I'm going to hold this over your head. I'm going to put it on the internet. I'm going to, you know, send it to my friends and whatever else. So now she has this guilt, you know, and she has this shame, and she feels trapped, right? And there are many ways for people, an abuser, to keep you in that situation. For all of the people that say, why didn't she leave? Cassie's situation is just a little bit different because I'm sure she had access to some sort of money. But the regular everyday person that's in these type of
So how did
situations.
she have access to money, Chanel? Run me that, because she didn't have no
Well,
cash.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying like she probably had access to
Let's
something.
can you give
So
a
it's sort of
scenario?
like,
How could she have access? Let's give a
I'm
scenario.
not saying I know this to be true, but what I'm saying is sometimes people give, even if they think, even if he's beating her up or whatever, that doesn't mean that he won't give her money or he won't give her a credit card to go buy Uber Eats or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm sure she had some sort of access, but even if he didn't give her a credit card, this, that, and the third, a lot of really wealthy men, if they want to send, you know, whoever to go get something from Louis Vuitton or Chanel, they don't have to always give them a credit card. You know, you've heard the term, put it on my account or whatever. And when those women or whoever are coming in there all the time doing that, they don't care about that. They just like, oh, this is Mr. Diddy's whoever, and he said she could spend 30,000, whatever. So that's what I mean by access. I'm not saying she physically had, you know, money, but the reason I bring that up is because even in regular life, when women don't leave, a lot of people don't realize it's because the abuser has taken all the money, maybe won't let them work, and if they do get a job, then they go to their job and harass them to get them fired, and then they're still under your thumb. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's really all about power and keeping that control. And then also too, I mean,
Chanel, can't you just have power over a foreigner?
well, I don't agree with that statement. I understand what you're getting at, but I just
I
think,
understand you can have power over somebody that want to be there.
yes, but what I'm saying is when people are manipulated and coerced and drugged and all of these other things, they can't really consent anymore. But I think, and I'm not Diddy and I don't know him, but what I'm saying is I think with people like him that have so much power and influence and whatever else, and he has this beautiful woman, he want, in my opinion, I feel like he wanted to have power over people that he chose. I selected this beautiful woman, I lied to her, told her I'm going to give her this big career, she's my girl, and this, that, and the third. Nobody's going to believe you. That's what they all tell you. Ain't nobody going to believe you, you know. And he's right, a lot of people won't believe him. So I think, like I said, it's a cycle of power and control. And that's why I gave the example of, you know, him taping them. And I think I heard something or rumblings of P. Diddy like filming a lot of people, a lot of celebrities or politicians and whomever else to use that against them as well. But it's just a power thing. To me, it's 100% a power thing, because if they can get your mind, then everything else will follow. Think about it. How many women have been who had a what I would say a emotional affair? it don't take much for him listening to you. Now your body's going along with it. So it seems so far-fetched to some people that, you know, she would stay around in this horrible situation, but it's not always that the person is just staying around. A lot of times they're manipulated. A lot of times they're guilted into it. And like I said, even normal people on average, they don't leave. It's like they leave 7 or 8 times before they actually really leave. And they've lost a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? From their family, friends, because you're being isolated, your credibility, your credit is bad. He's ruined your name and whatever, you know. So it's just, to me, his is just highlighted because of his name. If Cassie was anyone on this panel, no one would care about her doing any of this. But it's because he has this money, he has all this influence and talent. People just want to have allegiance to him. But I am shocked that, and I haven't seen these things that you guys are talking about, but I am shocked that celebrities were outwardly basically saying this lady was lying. I didn't know that. I hadn't heard about any of that. So that's crazy. And I'm glad that they at least apologized. But again, I'm like, you're elevated, I'm going all the way to the top. It's just, it's disgusting behavior to me. Just shut up. Just don't say anything. Just shut up. But people do stuff like that.
It just seems like they're not aware how often that women get DV by their husbands and boyfriends. I don't think they're aware.
They're not, or they don't care. They would rather, it's what I was saying earlier. It's this toxic conditioning. It's the same thing as when you're younger, you hear your aunties talking about, well, you know, if you don't do this to a man, another woman will. How toxic is that to say around a teenage girl? So now I got to feel some type of way if I get a divorce. It's always like, why did he leave her? She must have done X, Y, and Z. It's the same type of toxic conditioning that if you see a man at a baseball game for his son or his daughter, and he's coming to every baseball game, every woman there is like, oh my God, that's so great. He's such a good man, this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, you could have a whole wife or mother at every ball game and whatever else, and they ask her, well, where's your husband? She's going to say, oh, you know, he's working. They're going to give him 1 million passes. But I promise you, if that same scenario was flipped and the woman was there, they wouldn't even ask her a question. And they would think that she's asinine and the worst parent in the world if she didn't come to every game. So it's just these double standards on top of double standards on top of double standards that we give to men. And that's why I was speaking so, you know, I was trying to really put across the idea that it isn't that we don't think these things are happening. It's the toxic conditioning, the things that you're hearing and listening, and you're not even aware of it. And it's how we are trained to be in society. It's just women are trained
to you stop there, Chanel. Like, what are your plans? It sounds like you're an advocate. It sounds like you're a leader. So how do you plan to stop it?
So you know how I was saying I worked in sex crimes and with child family court and all that. I worked there for many, many years, but there's not a lot of what's the right word? Money. And also you don't have a lot of power, right? So for me, I'm a Leo and I love, listen, I'm made for 5-star hotels and room service. So I finally said, you know, I've done my part, but I felt like I'm not going to be able to do it in a legal way. So I decided to become a therapist because at the end of the day, I'm still helping people, but I can go book my, you know, trip to Turks and Caicos too, because I'm making a good living. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the way I can help because I can't save the world. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be able to reach everybody or whatever the case may be. So I just want to reach the people that I can reach, you know, and help them change their frame of mind, because another toxic conditioning thing that we do in America or really around the world is, oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up soon. BTF, thank you so much. Alan, thank you. Tony, thank you so much. Any last words, BTF?
I do just want to apologize to Shelly Boo Boo. Yeah, for some reason, I was reading the comments from yesterday, and somebody commented that I cut her off, and I apologize for that. I didn't know that I cut her off, so I'm really sorry, Shelly.
Yeah, I cut people off all the time. I apologize, y'all. C. Allen.
Nothing more I want to say. I just want to say it's been a pleasure as always, and I hope everybody enjoy their weekend. That's it.
Always. C. Allen, that's my baby. Okay.
You know I love you,
Thank you,
Gigi.
Chanel. And,
Bye, you guys. Y'all have a good one.
we'll get you on next
Bye-bye.
time. And I'm going to be going live probably twice later on today.
Okay.
So please check out for me. All right. And I'm out. DJ, where are you?
Bye, you guys. Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Bye, guys.